cornerbacks.
Corners.
This one
not
was
TBs,
tough.
just corners. Okay.
Not just corners, Okay. So I'm going to go above average. Slightly, though. Like, it's close for me.
That's fair.
Because I feel like going into the 2020 season, Cohn was an elite nickel corner, and he was rated as such.
Yeah.
No, the Stinger is elite. He was rated as such. Verrett, the only 2 years that he's actually been healthy, he's been actually pretty elite, honestly. He's very, very good. Verrett is very good. And
yeah, he really is.
Mosley, I like Mosley a lot.
Solid.
Let's be honest. He's solid.
I like him.
But I think he's slightly below average. So, but as a whole,
yeah, I think so too. I think
it's
fair.
So I would put him as
the nicest thing you say about Mosley is he's a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
He's one of the 64 best corners in the world.
But he deserves to be a starter. Like,
he definitely is a starting quarterback, but at corner, but I would say probably below average, probably in the 50s, high 40s of overall rank. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that group's above average as well.
I think it's above average. Yeah. They could use another guy. They could use someone bigger. They could use a little
JC Horn.
They could use a little youth. I mean, they corner the market on 30-year-old corners. I mean, they got that.
They do. So, yes, they do.
They really do. But yeah, no, it's an above average group. And last year I felt that Jason Verrett was so good that he almost was the MVP. So yes, above average group. It's funny how the formula in 2019 was elite defensive line. What was it? Like basically average secondary at best, average, you know? And now it's kind of flipped. And I think that's the way I would build defenses. I'm not saying you just disregard defensive line, but you can get good defensive linemen in the third day of the draft. And if you have a defensive line coach like Chris Kosarick, you can have a rotation of guys and get by. But you can't. There's nothing. If you have a weak corner, you're just going to get Brian Allen all day.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
So John George is back this time with appreciate you very much. Thank you for sticking with us. From the article, Mississippi State mudflap finished with more touchdowns than number one pick Kyler Murray and compiled a 6-6 record. Average yards, Stafford, Minshew. Okay, so he's saying that Minshew's better than Stafford and Kyler Murray. That if the Niners were to get Minshew, that they would have the second best quarterback in the division.
Come on. Here's the thing about stats. And
are there some real Minshew fans out there? Man.
I think there is. Yes, of course there is. Of course there is.
Jeez,
there should be.
Jimmy fans. Minshew mania.
Yeah, Minshew mania. Here's the thing about stats, and there is nobody quicker to pull a stat than me. So I'm guilty of this as well. Whatever story you want to tell, you can pretty much tell with stats as long as the guy that you're trying to portray is great. Is at least decent because there's going to be a number or two. They did this with Jimmy all 2019, by the way. He was the only quarterback that is top 5 in these 4 categories or whatever the hell it was. They made it seem like he was elite. Then we got to the playoffs and he threw like 8 times.
They made it seem like he's the best deep thrower in the league.
They did it with Mullins, by the way, last year too. Well, Jimmy, when he's in the game, he's like 36th overall in deep throwing ranking. But Mullins is top 3. Like there was that stat for a while too. We knew that Mullins was not an elite deep thrower. Like anybody watching the game knew that. Yeah. So I appreciate the stat. And again, I'm with you. Let's bring in Minshew. Let's bring in 3 young cats to kind of compete for the position. But
that's just the level of boldness the Niners have not exhibited. Exhibited.
You're right. I don't disagree with you. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that it should.
I definitely think it'd be cool. But what I'm saying is, I think we can agree on it. If the Minshew plan is to have him back up Jimmy, no,
absolutely not. No.
If the plan is to have him replace Jimmy, hey, nice Niners. I like your chutzpah. Way to go for it, man. That's great. But no. If the plan is, well, we don't really like the quarterbacks that we'll have available to us in the draft, so we're going to get Minshew. No, that's a cop-out. Pick one of these quarterbacks. Make it work.
Well, I think that maybe I was portraying maybe my fears on you earlier in saying that if they bring in Minshew, maybe they're not going to draft a quarterback because that worries the hell out of me. You've got a full quarterback room at that point. Why would you draft a quarterback?
That's what I'm saying.
2 of them, by the way, are young.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I read it. If they bring in Minshew, it is in lieu of drafting
Yeah.
a quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. That is not okay.
No.
No.
God, I feel like I'm in trouble.
All right, so let's do safeties.
Let's do safeties. So, all right. So I know that Rich tweeted out that the safeties have to be top 5 at this point. And I think that they, as far as a tandem, I think they're close, and maybe they are, but for me, they're definitely not top 3. So I have to go above average.
Man, I want to say above average, but I just feel like Jaquiski Tartt in particular has demonstrated that he really can't play a full season. He's almost like a half season player. Jaquiski, I'm sorry. I want to say nice things about you. You are a versatile guy. You do your job well at every single. You're an above average safety when healthy. It's just that I'm very hard on Jimmy Garoppolo for his lack of durability, and you're like in the same exact boat. I mean, you made Jason Verrett look like the Iron Man last year. Jason Verrett played 14 games in a row. I can't remember the last time Jaquiski Tartt did that. So if durability is a trait, if it's a skill, I've got to say he doesn't have it, and that's going to knock him down to average. Now, Jimmy Ward is an above average safety.
He is.
So they're kind of in the middle. They're kind of in the middle. And the fact that they got Tavon Wilson and Tavarius Moore, that's pretty good depth.
Yeah.
So maybe it is above average. Maybe it is. I'll give him above average. I'll give it to him.
Did you just sell yourself on it?
I'll give it to him.
Okay. All right.